and good day. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz from eTurboNews, and this is a breaking news update. For more news updates and shows, please go to youtube.com/travel news group. youtube.com/travel news group. Here's our update.
Simplicity, predictability and practicality keys to restoring global mobility now. Simple, predictable and practical measures needed to safely and efficiently facilitate the ramping up of international travel as borders reopen. The International Air Transport Association (IATA) called on governments to adopt simple, predictable and practical measures to safely and efficiently facilitate the ramping up of international travel as borders reopen. Specifically, IATA urged governments to focus on three key areas. Simplified health protocols, digital solutions to process health credentials, COVID-19 measures proportionate to risk levels with a continuous review process. The industry's vision to address the complexity is outlined in the newly released policy paper, From Restart to Recovery, a blueprint for simplifying travel. As governments are establishing processes to reopen borders, in line with what they agreed in the ministerial declaration of the ICAO High-Level Conference of COVID-19, the blueprint will help them with good practices and practical considerations. Over the next months we need to move from individual border openings to the restoration of a global air transport network that can reconnect communities and facilitate economic recovery, said Conrad Clifford, IATA's Deputy Director General. The blueprint aims to facilitate the efficient ramping up of global connectivity. We must have processes in place to safely and efficiently manage the ramping up of international travel as borders reopen. With over 18 months of pandemic operational experience and traveler feedback, we know that a laser focus on simplicity, predictability and practicality is essential. That is not the reality today. Over 100,000 COVID-19 related measures have been implemented by governments worldwide. This complexity is a barrier to global mobility that is exacerbated by the inconsistencies these measures have created among states, said Clifford. Focus areas. Simplified health protocols. The aim must be protocols that are simple, consistent, and predictable. Key recommendations include: remove all travel barriers, including quarantine and testing for those fully vaccinated with a WHO-approved vaccine. Enable quarantine-free travel for non-vaccinated travelers with a negative pre-departure antigen test result. These recommendations are supported by public opinion research of travelers which revealed that 80% believe that vaccinated people should be able to travel freely. 81% believe that testing before travel is an acceptable alternative to vaccination. 73% believe that quarantine is not necessary for vaccinated travelers. Digital solutions to process health credentials. The management of travel health credentials, vaccination or testing certificates, should be handled digitally and enable travelers to complete the process in advance so that they can arrive at the airport ready to travel. This will facilitate automated check-in processes, reducing airport queuing and wait times. Key recommendations include: a digital health credential to record health status. The European Digital COVID Certificate (EUDCC) is widely accepted and a recognized good practice, with 22 non-EU states currently having equivalence agreements with the EUDCC. A digital web portal or application through which passengers can present their travel health credentials directly to the respective governments for verification. Aruba's web portal and Canada's Arrive Can app are good examples from which other countries can learn, and Australia's digital passenger declaration platform promises to further streamline processes. IATA Travel Pass can integrate with government solutions to assist with data collection and verification. IATA is working with several governments, including Australia, to ensure a joined-up process, a web platform providing clear explanations of entry requirements tailored to the individual passenger's residence status, health status, travel history and any other required variable. The Swiss Federal Office of Public Health TravelCheck portal is a good practice example for its ease of use, simplicity and clarity. These recommendations are supported by public opinion research of travelers which revealed that 88% support standardized vaccination and testing certificates. 87% will share personal health data via an app if it saves processing time. 73% found understanding the rules and paperwork applicable to their travel to be a real challenge, those who traveled since June 2020. COVID-19 measures proportionate to risk levels with a continuous review process. Industry and governments have amassed crucial and vast experience with COVID-19. This will continue as COVID-19 becomes endemic. COVID-19 measures must reflect this growing knowledge, changing risk levels and societal tolerance. While day-to-day modifications to measures would introduce unpredictability that would be counterproductive, regular reviews and adjustments are needed. Key recommendations include: publish the risk assessments that are used to make decisions relating to international travel to enhance predictability for both consumers and industry, review existing processes and apply sunset clauses to public health measures to ensure that they are only in place for as long as needed, develop a roadmap for restoring aviation connectivity in the post-pandemic phase. These recommendations are supported by public opinion research of travelers which revealed that 87% believe that governments must find the right balance in managing COVID-19 and enabling an economic recovery. 86% believe that borders should be progressively reopened as vaccination coverage and testing capacity grow. 85% believe that mask wearing on board is critical in the pandemic, but 62% believe that the requirement should be removed as soon as possible. Travel is important. Pre-pandemic, some 88 million livelihoods were directly connected to aviation. And the inability to travel freely by air has impacted the quality of life for billions of people. We know that travelers feel confident with the implementation of the COVID-19 safety measures. But they have clearly told us that the current travel experience needs to improve with better information, simpler processing and digital solutions. The ministerial declaration of the ICAO-HLCC aligns with those of the G20 and the G7 in confirming that governments want to restore the social and economic benefits of global mobility. For that, industry and government must work together with a common vision of processes that are convenient for travelers, effective for governments and practical for the industry, said Clifford.
Thank you for listening to our news update. There's more on youtube.com/travelnewsgroup, or you can read us, of course, in going to our news portal at eTurboNews.com or travelnews.online.